YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again, ready to break down some MLB, and I know Stu will be talking some NBA draft today with the draft coming up tonight. Stu, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Anyone that knows me that's followed the show for a while or followed my stuff, I love drafts, NBA draft, NFL draft, even some MLB. It's obviously a little trickier there with all the prospects coming out of high school and college. But, man, I love drafts. I love the NBA draft, and I'm excited to talk about it a little bit. Obviously, it's a big deal for my Wizards. We could have been the number 1 overall pick. We could have been sitting here laughing with a Cooper flag, but the NBA had different plans, so we're stuck in number 6. Makes it a little bit more interesting, and excited to talk about it, dive a little bit deeper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will be absolutely zero help to that talk for the NBA draft. But yeah, we're back. I mean, it's weird, man. We went like a whole week without going shows. We went back-to-back days now, and we make it happen here for you guys because obviously we don't want to miss a Wednesday slate. These are some of my favorite ones for some MLB. Unfortunately, I get to tell you guys how I sucked ass yesterday. I got hooked on Logan Allen. The dude threw 115 pitches.
I know.
4 strikeouts. And 2 of them were looking in that very borderline looking calls. And, of course, it's on Schneider, who was like wasn't projecting to really play in this game. And I'm pretty sure he struck out twice. So many two strike counts. They got the ball in play, did exactly what we wanted them to. Just did not get there. My long shots, too. Red Sox just shit the bed, dude. Tyler Anderson shoved on them. But we talked about it, right? I mean, that was the options, right? They had to jump out early on the guys. They had multiple guys on base in the first 2 innings and just couldn't get anything in. The Cubs I was kind of mad about because they looked really, really good early. Tyone blows the lead, and I'm like, dude, this is exactly what we wanted. Everything was working out perfect, and then we ended up seeing the Cubs blow the lead. Tyone ended up blowing it, I think, going down 7-5. And they still had a chance on Ryan Ellsley, man. They almost got him. Arenado had to make a crazy play. If that goes into extras, they don't have anyone behind them to get that shutdown inning there. So felt kind of mad about that one because they were at 8 for a little while or 7 for a little while. And I'm like, damn, dude, this could happen. And just fell a little bit short. I think 11 by the Tigers was the winner yesterday. What a surprise with the 7 total in that game. And I think they were like 28-1. So shout out if you took the Tigers, bro, because you deserve to look through that money. That is a phenomenal call if you were able to make it.
Yeah, there were a lot of high-scoring ones yesterday. Cubs obviously gave you a chance, like you said, but, it's a long shot for a reason. 17-1, you definitely feel pretty solid about that,
Yeah, and going over to yours with Helio.
Yeah, yesterday for me also kind of sucked. I talked about going back and forth between fucking total bases and hits, runs, RBIs. We go hits, runs, RBIs. Gets the double. Devers gets thrown out at home at the plate, so did not cash that for us. If you did watch the show, though, I did talk about betting double like 4 times, so we did cash that at plus 330, which was kind of nice. But, yeah, no dice overall on the show play. Unlucky with Ramos there and Devers getting thrown out.
Yeah, no, it's baseball though, man. It's tough because we were talking also on the show about taking doubles, and we talked ad nauseum. Right, I talked about Devers doubles. I talked about Helio Ramos doubles, and then Austin Riley also comes in with a double to drive in a ton of runs too. I mean, he had a great game. Like I said, I haven't bet a home run bet. I couldn't even tell you. Probably not. I don't think I have 1 home run bet this year because shit like this.
Yeah, no, this one was probably even the worst feeling, honestly, to start, because it happened earlier in the slate as well, and I really only had these 2 bets out yesterday. So, yeah, no dice, double off the wall. Sometimes, you win some, you lose some. Lost this one, obviously.
Yeah, dude, just nasty work, bro. Just nasty work. These home runs, man, like, shout out if you're hitting those parlays, but, like, you know how many you got to bet on to get those, man? It was so cool. Too, and it's just like, this will be my one PSA because I see a lot of people are hitting these or have hit these recently. Do not go chasing that shit, bro. Like, home runs are so like, it's so hard to get them, dude. Like, I mean, the best guys in the world are hitting 50, and there's like 3 dudes who can do it. There's 162 games, dude, and these guys are playing 160 of them, right? So it's like you have to be on there, dude. It's crazy. I just I can never get behind these home run parlays. I mean, if you're going to round robin, maybe a 3 spot, sure. That's at least benefiting your money and wanting to like actually care about long-term success. But like, I know I think I speak for myself and Stu, and we do a long shot, and we don't even do them every day unless we like them. Like it's very rare we both do a long shot on the same day. So that's just for us. We've been doing this for 3 years now on the show. I feel like we've had pretty good success in making you guys money. And just a quick heads up, because there's a reason why they're long shots, man. And to parlay long shots together, dude, it's very hard to make that happen. I think we maybe have done it once or twice throughout the whole duration of the show that we've ever done it, where you hit 2 plus 300s or plus 500s or whatever it is in the same day. So just a heads up. Just want to get that out there because I have been seeing a lot more people kind of crazy long shots on those, and it's just, I don't know, just not sustainable to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like when NFL season ends and then you see like 10 first basket parlays on the timeline. You're like, oh, I don't know about that. Like there's other things we can be betting, But yeah, obviously, like you said, we kind of try our best to really be selective here when we do fire them. And that's actually worked really well over these last couple of years. So, I agree with the round robin thing as well, too. I'd much rather run like a 3-leg home run round robin than just a parlay as well, because obviously you're going to get more chances to get your money back, mitigates the risk a little bit, assuming you're not betting super heavily. So, hopefully I don't have any homers or anything like that today, but maybe we make it up and cash a long shot. Who knows?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sorry, I don't know if that's my StreamYard just being a little weird right now. I'll be a little wonky. It's probably not used to double, guys. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Put yes in the chat because it's kind of popping weird. Like I said, I haven't used StreamYard in like a couple days, and then I back-to-back days on these long shows. So we'll see if we can keep it going. But all right, can you hear me now? Are we all good?
Yeah, it seems good. You had a little lag, but you're good.
All right. Yeah. All right. Let's do it. So, anything you want to talk about the NBA draft, Stu, first before we get into any MLB? Because obviously, I don't have a bet in my Brewer game, but we got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I got a bet to talk about here in a minute, but I will start off with the first thing I want to talk about, and I talked to you on the phone a little bit about it earlier. The NBA draft right now is a shit show because of mostly one guy, and his name's Ace Bailey. And nobody really knows where Ace Bailey is going to go right now because he came into the draft projected as one of the top 3 picks. And since then, he has not accepted a single workout for any of those teams. And there seems to be very credible information that he doesn't want to play for the Sixers. He doesn't want to play for the Hornets. And apparently even the Jazz possibly could be in that conversation as well. So what does that leave you? It kind of leaves you with, after that, it would be the Wizards or the Nets. And if you guys don't know anything about the draft, the Nets have like 8 picks. Like they legitimately have the 8th pick, and then they have 3 or 4 picks in the 20s and a pick in the teens. So they are by far the most loaded team in the draft and clearly going to make some moves. The question is, are they going to trade up to get Ace Bailey? Are they going to trade up for somebody else? Everyone knows they want Harper, but it seems like that's not going to happen at all. I don't think the Spurs are going to move off of number 2 right now. So we're at a bit of an interesting situation where like Ace Bailey really kind of determines the draft. You know what I mean? Like from the betting perspective at the top, there are a couple different ways that you can look at it. For me, the team I follow obviously is the Wizards. I'm most tapped into the Wizards. I feel pretty strongly that they're going to draft Fears. And I was telling you that earlier. I know you said you got it around plus 300. It's mostly in that range now. It might even get better over the course of the day as the Ace Bailey price seems to sink. I think one huge indicator is Fears had a public workout with Washington and Utah, both teams that I think are super interested in him. He also had a private workout at Georgetown University that really only one local media member has picked up, a guy that is extremely, extremely tapped in DC circles. And I thought that was interesting. It's not very publicized. That happened just a couple days before Jordan Poole was traded out of town. There's obviously some overlap in position, right? Fears is going to be your lead guard. That's what you want to bring him into. Washington has a ton of veterans. They're clearly opening up time for these young guys. For Washington, there hasn't been much interest in Trey Johnson, despite the fact that I am more of a fan, I think, than other people out there. So it's kind of looking like a 2-horse race between Ace Bailey and Fears. For me personally, with the opened up minutes at point guard, with some already solid depth on the wing, I do like the upside of Ace Bailey, but I think Fears should not be plus 300. I think that should be a lot closer to a 50-50 race right now. And I think the fact that you can get odds like that are some really good value. So that's kind of my hot take right there, that Fears at number 6 at like plus 300 is great odds. I also like under 6.5 in general, just because there is some hype with the Utah Jazz. He's had 2 workouts there as well. And I know what you're thinking, the Jazz have 80 point guards. Why would they draft another one? I kind of agree, but they do have some new front office members, and it does seem like Jordan Clarkson is obviously not going to be returning next year, as well as Colin Sexton. So both of those guys are on the trade block. You still have Collier and George over there. So that would still make Fears kind of redundant in my opinion. But like I said, it's a new org. They've had multiple workouts with him. If they fall in love, I could very much see them taking him there, especially because they're trying to win, apparently. Like they're trying to get out of their rebuild. And Ace Bailey is clearly a rebuild kind of guy, given his interesting shot profile and, lack of development right now. So if you're looking for a safer one, I also have Fears under 6.5 draft position as well. I think that's a good spot right there. And yeah, no better way to start the show than a little Wizards talk, right?
Who's 5? Who's drafting 5?
Right in front of him, that's Utah.
Okay. Because I saw that they have Fears as now plus 150. He's the favorite to go 5. Bailey's second, and then Bailey's 1 for 6, and Fears is second there. So I don't know. I feel like with the Jazz, dude, they got a lot more other shit they need to, though. Like they need so many things. Like I don't know. I felt like once Poole left, you definitely probably want to bring a guard in there, dude. I don't know. Ace Bailey's tough to even talk about with all this shit. But let's get to your bet here, Stu, and I'll let you take it away.
Sounds good. We're getting a little tricky name pronunciation right here. So sorry if I butcher this one. Noah Asengu is what I'm going to go with right here. Top 10 pick. Minus 115. He just left his international team that is in the playoffs right now. So he's not going to be finishing off the playoffs with them to accept his green room invite. And right before he accepted his green room invite and right before he flew to to New York, he took a private workout with the Raptors, which was a big deal. He kind of knocked that off on the way. That was his only private workout of the season because he obviously just got out of the playoffs right here. And what I really like about this is, one, if anyone just saw the interview cycle that he did this morning, he told the media that his 3 players that he studies the most are Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and Kawhi Leonard. It's a little bit of a coincidence considering he just came out of Toronto. It seems like they're trying to set this one up, and Toronto's sitting there at number 9. When you think of what Asengu is, 6'10", rangy, very skinny, not a filled out frame, one of the youngest players playing in these European playoffs right now. So he's a developmental prospect. He's got great size. He's got great athleticism. He can instantly come in and be a day one impactful defender, a good cutter, a good off-ball mover. The real question is just, can he be he's got to fill out a little bit more, and he's got to be able to attack the rim. And there's some good signs there. Obviously, with his profile in Europe, he's actually a pretty solid, aggressive shooter. The percentages aren't great, but he got to the free throw line a good amount. He improved to being a 70% free throw shooter in his final year. You're going to have to see that go up a little bit more. But a lot of positive traits coming in right here that make him really interesting and really fit the kind of Raptor mold, especially. I know that's the team I kind of locked in at number 9 right there. I think the Nets, if they don't get any of the guys they want and if they don't trade up, I think they're a long shot at number 8 just because the Nets have, once again, a shit ton of picks and they're going to suck for a couple of years. So when you get an 18-year-old that's 6'10" and a fantastic athlete, it kind of fits the developmental mold. But for me, I think the most realistic is going to be 9 or it's going to be number 10, which is the Suns. And obviously the Suns have a ton of front court room now. They need help in terms of the big department. KD is out of town now. They have 80 guards on the roster, right? You can start your all shooting guard lineup right now, but you don't actually have the size. And when you look at the Suns, they're not going to win next year. I mean, they're not going to be a playoff contender. I mean, they need youth, and I think this is a guy that could instantly contribute off the bat and then still be a good developmental piece as well. When you add in some of the other good defensive players they got like Dunn over there, I think that could slowly be, molding some really good defensive bigs over there, in addition to Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, and now Jalen Green as well, the core of shooters they have over there. So I love the top 10 look right here. And I sent you another one as well that I like as well. It's a matchup. It's over on DraftKings Sportsbook. And then you can also get it on, on Bovada and Bet Online and some of those offshore stuff. But you can get him in a matchup 1v1 with Derek Queen for -15 right now. There is one stipulation. I like hedging out a little bit and taking Derek Queen to be the 7th overall pick to the Pelicans. The Pelicans just brought in Troy Weaver, who has a deep connection to the DMV. He's drafted multiple prospects out of DC and Baltimore before. His son coached Derek at Maryland as well. So the Pelicans, even though Jordan Poole, Zion, and Derek Queen doesn't really make any sense to me at all, and I have a lot of trouble seeing that, at +700, especially when some of the offshore websites are down to +350 for Derek Queen to be number 7, I think that's a solid long shot. And I honestly kind of think that's his only chance at going before a Sengu. So that's the way I look at it, of like, you can get a Sengu over Queen at -115, and then you can also get a small little dabble at Queen to be the number 7 pick to the Pelicans there at +700. I think that's a good way to get a little bit of access, because Derek Queen, I like him a lot. Maryland, he's a DMV guy, I believe, from Baltimore. The shot, that clutch shot he hit in March Madness, the just overall profile. And even I kind of agree with some of the jokes that if this guy was European and his last name was Queenovic, people might be looking at him in a different way and not be disrespecting the athleticism and the motor and stuff like that these European guys get a free pass on for whatever reason. So I do like Queen a lot, but all things considered, it's not about what I like at all. It's about the stock and the profile. And Queen was a guy that started this started this draft process around -500 to be a top 10 pick. That's not the case anymore, right? We've seen the odds go way down. His initial draft prop number was like 6.5, and now we're sitting at 11.5. So for me, the Queen stock has been falling. I think a lot of teams kind of struggle to see where they fit him in, because for him to succeed, he kind of needs to be your offensive hub. And that's a little bit hard to do for a lot of these teams, especially when they don't really trust your defensive ability. They don't really know who you're going to cover. At times, someone else is going to have to take that pressure off of you. It's a little tricky for fit. So I think Sengu fits into a lot of teams. He can be a forward or really even a small ball center at time. He's big, he's fast. And he's got some similar problems to Matas from last year, who I was really not a fan of. I didn't really think that skinny frame would hold up. And then he came in and was one of the best rookies really from day one and was pretty awesome all year long. So I think that's a guy that gives me a little bit of hope that the frame won't be seen as a big of a problem by the league. And I can definitely see him going over Derek Queen with kind of his stock rising and Queen's stock falling a little bit. So we're going top 10, and then we do have him in a matchup if you do have like DraftKings or Bovada or one of those sites.
Awesome, man. Well, you already know I already locked in Fears at +300. It's +250 now, so obviously feel great about some value there. But sorry, I have a message from my wife, obviously, just right when I'm on show. Doesn't remember our show time, obviously. We gotta get her locked in, tapped in. But you know why she might not be thinking that this is the right time for the show is because we got a huge game at 110, bro, for the Brewers. It's probably like, hey, you should have been planning out and going a little earlier because you're going to talk about this game. I'm not going to have a bet in this game, unfortunately. But my Brewers are facing off against Skeens today. And I mentioned on the show, man, like, I love fading the Brewers on these Wednesday games. I love it. But unfortunately, it's usually because there's not that many people at the game. It's damn near almost sold out on a Wednesday afternoon to get to see Big Miz and Paul Skeens face off in Milwaukee. If anything, I'm probably going to be rolling a long shot on a Paul Skeens strikeout ladder. If anything, I know we talked a little bit about a head-to-head. I love Mizorowski. I think he's going to do fantastic. I'm actually on his under 1.5 earned runs. I'll just say that to you guys on the show. Not going to make it official on here. It's already sent out in the VIP group already this morning. I sent that out. Was my first pick of the day. So I'm on the under 1.5, but nothing officially playing for the show. But what more can you ask for, man? Probably two of the top young arms. Obviously, we just talked about Chase Burns yesterday. And I said it here, man. I said it. If you're going to take it, hey, why don't we just take you either take the over walks or you take the over strikeouts. So those were your two options. And Burns ended up getting those walks at the end of the game, right? But he started out hot, 7 or 8 Ks in that game, first 6 guys, strikeouts. So obviously really cool to see all these young arms just bringing heavy velo and bringing a lot of swing and miss stuff. So did you get to see any of the Chase Burns highlights, Sue?
Yeah, I just caught the very beginning, obviously, when he was kind of cooking right there. And then I'm glad I didn't play the walks. Even if it ended up working out, I ended up staying away from it. And at first it was looking awful, if you did take it. So it cooled off a little bit there. But yeah, it was a great first start and someone that I'm looking forward to watching pitch again. Like you said, he's just exciting and we need more guys like that,
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I also think your team has a very interesting game as well today. We got Mackenzie Gore versus Pivetta. Both strikeout numbers very, very low for 2 high-end strikeout pitchers. So I'm actually really intrigued to see how that game goes as well. Mackenzie Gore was the number 1 strikeout percentage guy in the MLB. I'm still thinking I'm going to the under, bro. Like, I can't take a lot. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're giving me prime Sandy Koufax, bro. If you're going to give me a 6.5 or 5.5 strikeout prop as a lefty against the San Diego team, auto under, bro. It's just an auto under. These guys just don't strike out against left-handed pitching. And I just can't do it. I just cannot take an over. And it's like minus 140 now to the under 5.5. We haven't seen Mackenzie Gore at 5.5 in a long time, and let alone minus. Like that big of juice to pay. Any thoughts on that one, Stu? Obviously, that's your team.
No, I was going to say the same thing. Like I see the logic to the under, and then you open up the app and you go, oh shit, 5.5. And then you go, oh, it's plus money to the over on 5.5. You're like, okay, like the books were kind of ready for this one. You're not really catching them sleeping at all. So to me, that's almost kind of unplayable. You know what I mean? Of like, I can't really get there. But I see the logic of like just the Padres just being such a tough matchup against lefty strikeout heavy guys. I'd almost rather just go like, if Gore isn't striking a lot of people out, he's probably not in his A game. You know what I mean? Like that's his main like win condition. You know what I mean? So I'd almost rather go to maybe some other markets, like some earned run over or something like that. Maybe even walks, if he's not finding the zone. He's the guy that dances around the zone a lot. Like some of those other kind of markets, maybe, even a Manny Machado, extra bases or homer or something like that. Because Gore, when he is not great, it's normally the long ball that kind of kills him. He's been better this year, but historically still. So it's interesting. It's his former organization as well. You get a little bit of a narrative in there. It's going to be a great game. But like from a betting perspective, I think maybe I don't know what the number on walks is right now. I got strikeouts pulled up. Walks is minus 140 for 1.5. I'd have to look a little bit more into that, but that seems fairly reasonable to me in terms of betting on Gore today, but not going to get to the strikeouts.
Well, I got mine right here, bro.
Hey,
I got my Mackenzie Gore ball. I think it even says my name there. See that to Justin? Right?
Yep. So, okay, that's worth the
couple. I texted you about the guy who pitches for the Rangers right now, who was my throwing partner in college. He actually played with the Padres organization with Gore for almost a full season. So I gave him a couple merchandise stuff like when I was working in minor league ball, and he wanted some of the stuff that we had out. So I'm like, hey, give me a Gore ball, bro. So I have that Gore ball, still have it here, obviously, for a couple of years. So I've obviously been following for a minute. That was when he was obviously with San Diego. But, yeah, I just can't take it over, unfortunately. I cannot do it. And then let alone we get some more aces, bro. I mean, we got DeGrom on the bump, who I'll be talking about shortly. I also kind of like the under again for the Cleveland pitcher. Doesn't matter who it is. I think it's Gavin Williams today. I kind of like the under there again, dude. Like everything I'm taking, I like a lot of unders today on these arms. But I'll let you guys. We'll get to this because I got to get ready to go to work here in about 30 minutes again. So I'm going to do a little combo of my guys here. It was minus 26. It's minus 132 now, which is just nasty work. DraftKings is doing me dirty again while I'm on live. I'll switch it to minus 130 because I think that's still an available number for a lot of you guys. You guys know I rarely ever touch juice in MLB, bro. Like ever. Like it is almost like my cardinal sin to do it. But I can't get away from this play, though. Like I was gonna play this at minus 126. The minus 130 is the max I play it at, but damn, dude, DeGrom is just on another planet right now. This dude is so good. 26% K rate. He's got a 30% whiff. I think the most impressive, and this is something that you start seeing when DeGrom's slider is on its best, on his A game. He's got a 33% chase percentage. That is something that you just don't see very often at the big league level. It's 91st percentile there. And I kind of like how he's been messing around, throwing a little curveball in there. He throws it only 5% of the time, but 35% whiff rate on that. 38 on the changeup, which has just been devastating. 2 left-handed bats, which what are we going to see today from this Baltimore team? A shit ton of left-handed bats. And that's why I needed a guy who can get those guys out with the swing and miss. And that changeup has a 38% whiff rate, 180 batting average against. Like, just been absolutely wipe out. And then obviously you run 97. You get to run 97 mile-an-hour fastball and a 39% whiff rate on the slider as well, which he throws very evenly to both sides of the plate. So we really like DeGrom today. I love him. If I'm playing DFS, he's probably 30% of my lineups for sure, at least if I'm on FanDuel, where there's only a one pitcher site. The other ones are going to probably go all to Logan Webb. He's got the Marlins tonight. And yes, I have come on record here and said I really like taking the Marlins on under strikeouts a lot of the time. But now you're going to go against Logan Webb at home, and this is just not a spot I want to play these Marlins. I like taking the Marlins against lefties to just not strike out because they're a pesky team, right? I mean, against lefties, they have a 20% strikeout rate. Over the last month, they've been one of the best strikeout teams, or at least amount of strikeouts. But also, not many of them are Logan Webb standard, right? When you look at these numbers, like I said, they haven't been a huge strikeout team, about 22%. But Logan Webb at home this year has just been lights out. A 1.88 FIP, a 0.3 home runs per 9, right? You just go down the list, dude. This dude is unreal. 28% strikeout rate in the month of June. As of right now, he is just absolutely wiping out right-handed bats to a 30% strikeout clip. And the reason why I bring that up is because Miami, they're rolling a lot of righties against right-handed bats, right? Or right-handed pitching. Connor Norby, Dane Myers, Wagman, Ramirez, Otto Lopez, and that's not murderer's row, bro. But they're throwing them against all righties. And we saw Verlander go 5 innings, 5 Ks, right? I don't know if you looked. Logan Webb has the highest out prop I've ever seen. It's minus 130 over 20.5. 20.5. I almost bet the over because I thought that this was good. And then I looked at it, I'm like, damn, Logan Webb's actually striking a lot of people out, bro. I got to go there. So you're going to give me a guy they expect. They're juicing over to 7 innings. And we just saw shitty Verlander get me 5 strikeouts. Like, man, dude, Verlander looked like shit yesterday, dude. And he still got 5 Ks. Sign me up for a guy like Logan Webb, who's been absolutely dominant. 2.84 expected, still sub 5% walk rate, been phenomenal. That sweeper has been just an absolute godsend for him. He's jumped up the usage 7% this year on the sweeper. And guess what? You throw it a little more, we get a little bit more whiff, right? His sweeper last year, 26% whiff rate, 31.5. So we're throwing it that much more, almost 10% more, and then we're still getting almost 10% more whiff. That's something I'm obviously looking at just because I'm obviously deep in the weeds on this shit. This is stuff I like to look at here. And then obviously you take the changeup, only throwing it 19% of the time versus 31% of the time last year. But the fact that he has thrown his sweeper so much, that pitch has just taken a whole new life of its own, man. It's gone from 19% usage this year from 31 last year, so 12% less. But when he throws it, he has 10% more whiff, 31.5 versus 21.5 last year. So You use it a little bit less. They see it a little bit less. It's been really, really good against those lefties when he does have to face them. You have a guy in Kyle Stowers who's good for 3 strikeouts a game here today too. So, especially if he's going 7 innings, bro. So sign me up. I love this spot. Again, you guys will rarely see me ever bet juice in MLB, but this one just feels like I kind of have to at this point. Like I can't get away from this number.
Yeah, no, I really like this combo. I mean, these are obviously two guys that fucking rock. You know what I mean? It's you obviously had a great breakdown right there, but at the end of the day, too, I love like a big outs prop, like you said, for Webb, because you're just gonna have so many more opportunities, even if you don't start out very well. And obviously, when you have a young team like Miami, like you said, Stowers started off super hot, and then slowed down a little bit when pitchers realize he swings at every single possible pitch. You know, which can be a bit of a
not throw this guy something straight. Like, pretty much.
Yeah. And then DeGrom's DeGrom. You know what I mean? He's obviously, you laid out a good breakdown of some of those underlying numbers and how strong they are. And it matches up with the eye test, which is when you watch this guy pitch, you're like, I see why these guys can't hit him. You know what I mean? And not to oversimplify things, but I see why. You know what I mean? So it's two of the best pitchers in the game at reduced numbers. I'm gonna be joining you for sure.
Beautiful. Let's get a quick recap in. I'll take the look at the chat and we'll see what we can do. Obviously, I thought both of our spots were feeling pretty confident in. So let's get it going.
Sounds good. We got Noah Asengu. I hope I'm saying that right. Really do. Top 10 pick, -115. And then I have him in a matchup over Derek Queen. Head-to-head, who gets drafted first at -115. We also talked about Jeremiah Fears to be under 6.5 and then to be taken by the Wizards at number 6, +300. So got a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, even if you are saying this wrong, the positive part of it is I don't have to listen to bitch-ass Mel Kiper fucking talk. At least I don't have to listen to that bum ass. So I can at least tune into this draft and not have to fucking plug my ears the whole time. Goddamn. Sorry, that was my rant for the day. I had to get one in. DeGrom 6 strikeouts, Webb 5Ks, -130. I couldn't really rant on baseball today because it's a great day for got good pitching. We got some shit pitching. If you want some overs, we got a couple of those. We got Dick Fitz versus Kikuchi, man. Like, what else could you ask for? I mean, we're gonna see some runs there. We got freaking Chase Dollander facing the Dodgers and Coors. What else? What, like, crazy shit, bro. So we have a little bit of everything here. Let's take a look. I don't think that we have any questions in the chat. Skeens versus Brewers. I mean, I wouldn't look into that much. It's not that sunny here. I can't imagine the roof's open. It's supposed to rain later today, so I could not give you an answer to that. I always tell you that at home during these day games they suck. So just heads up. It might be a little different now that they're kind of hyped because they get to face these guys. But just a quick heads up. I'm not going to go into the Michael Jordan thing that I saw. Funny, I do not know what that was about. But we got sports in the chat. Welcome back in here. We got Tyrone, Deuce. Obviously, I know Deuce is the JJ Spawn guy. I'm sure I'll be betting some golf tonight after I get done with my MLB DFS stuff. I'll have my golf lineups ready to go there. So, loving a Turner, Bobby Witt total base parlay. Interesting. I don't really know how I feel about that. I haven't really looked into those guys at all. But any thoughts on that, Stu, before we get out of here?
I mean, I'm not super deep into MLB yet. I got to do that after this. But those guys are both very good hitters, so I would not be surprised if they went over their total bases. You know what I mean? Like, you see those lists on Twitter of, like, hot hitters or whatever, or, like, get hit part whatever, and it's just like you're just listing all the best hitters in baseball. Like, yeah, they'll probably hit well. They are very good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I haven't looked super deep. But, yeah, I'd assume those guys have good games. And then Professor T, I saw, said the thing about Derek White. I would be shocked if they traded Derek White. Like, so shocked. That would be an insane move. Like, I don't know. I can't envision that personally. So, you know, I would not be worried about that one. In short, essentially, that would no. I don't even think that's possible. I don't want to say that just because this whole NBA offseason has already been kind of insane, and it's clearly going to get even crazier. But yeah, Derek White feels like the guy that's not going to leave town, and especially not to like the Raptors. So wouldn't be super concerned there. The Raptors could trade out, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be at the Celtics. Oh, and then one more thing before we get out of here. It's only on one book. my favorite midget, Jace Richardson, pick number 25 to the Orlando Magic at plus 370 on just Bovada. It's only offshore. No one else is giving you fucking every pick of the draft except the offshore. So shout out to them. I love Jace Richardson. I'm Michigan State. I wish he'd just go back to college. He's freaking 6 foot without shoes. Like, man, you're not going to – his analytical profile would actually have him as like a top 12, 13 pick in this draft if you're just going off that. But no, like, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's just not going to – he's 6 foot tall. It's the modern NBA. He's 6 foot tall. I remember Cassius Winston as well. He played for the Wizards. Like, it's not going to happen. But I do think if there's any team that can fit him, because the guy's an amazing scorer. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He can roam free. Orlando's got fucking defense for days. They got so much. So that he can fit in like 3 teams in the NBA, and Orlando's one of them. So I like him to be the 25th pick. His over-under is currently set at 24.5, which kind of gives you some indication that the sports books are thinking the same way as well. So Orlando needs scoring. He has a great scoring profile. The Atlanta, like his analytical profile is awesome. I just don't see it. He's 6 foot tall. You know what I mean? I wish he'd just go back to college. He'd be amazing once again. But it seems like he's gonna, try to get that NBA paycheck, and I wish the best for him. I always root for the Michigan State guys, but wanted to get that one in there real quick. Just a niche little long shot.
Awesome. Well, I got to pop out. Unfortunately, I got to head over back to work here in the next 10 minutes. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know Stu does too. We'll be back Friday. Should be regular time as usual for some MLB. Hopefully, talking about a sweep here and getting us back in the green. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. Hey, share the video as well. Make sure you share it to your friends if you want your friends to make money. If you don't, send them somewhere else, right? If you don't want them to make money, you don't like them that much, send them somewhere else. So, all right, we're going to hopefully get you guys some paper tonight. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. And go tune out to the Brewers game, bro. It should be a fun one to watch. So have a good one, and we'll catch you Friday.